I'll do that. Basically, this is gonna be a quick just to do a quick update. But I just found out from the Carmela Anthony case. I was so and wanted to do not, but out today the most important details. There we go. There we go. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. My bad. Halito, Choctaw Chiefess in the building. Halito, my indigenous sister, my indigenous melanated sister. All right. Shout out to Pink Ice in the building. I think I know you, Pink Ice. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's choppy. Hopefully, feeling better now. But let me just get rid of this music real quick. This is going to be a quick one, y'all. This is going to be a quick one. This is just a quick update in terms of what I just found out are the most important details in dealing with the case. Number one of the things we want to keep in mind is that the police officer stated that the knife was not illegal. So the knife was not illegal. This is a legal case. This is a legal case. So if the knife was not illegal, then and basically it was just a school situation. So the most could have been an expulsion, but it has nothing to do with the law. And let me say also that keep in mind that this it was the prosecutor's job to prove the case. The prosecutors had to prove the case, and they had to prove that this was a big M, a big M instead of self-defense. According to rumors, or according to what I heard, allegedly, they tried to subpoena Hunter Metcalf, and he refused. He refused to take the stand, as well as it was a choice for defense to put um, Carmela Anthony on the stand. However, they chose not to, which was a good decision because at this point, especially with Hunter not going up there, with putting Anthony on the stage would have been like detrimental because basically we already know that the prosecution was going to tear him apart. He's young, and that's a very experienced prosecution team. So let's look at that. So that was not a good idea. So they chose not. And according to everything that the defense rests, and starting tomorrow will be the deliberation. So we're looking at maybe another day or two left in this trial. Now, one of the things I want to suggest to the people in Texas or the people who may go out to the trial or to the protest is that they are race baiting. As much as you might not want to believe it, this is about elections. This is about election. And from one side, you had Jake Lang, research Jake Lang, JAKELANG. He's a J6er. He was the one out there saying that they're going to have all Black people locked up. He was the one that said that he was going to unalive Carmela. And, he's done this before. He was also arrested during the, for the J6, and he got pardoned by Trump. So we already know what team he plays on. All right. And you got to keep in mind that Colin County, Frisco, is pretty much, we're going to say, a Republican state. They all know each other. They're friends of the friends. We're looking at a small town that are friends of the friends. And if you didn't notice that, according to the trial testimonies, then too bad for you. And if you couldn't notice that most of, the witnesses, especially on the prosecution side, were coerced, then too bad for you. They even suggested that Austin's dad, Austin, I think his name is Austin Senior. He was in. He got. They were looking at him for intimidating witness and possible, and I even heard something about possibly perjury. And I also looked up, why would a defense team uh rest early? Because in my opinion, was arrest early, and basically was for all the things that I thought. They think that the prosecution failed to prove their case, failed to prove whether this was a big M. Because keep in mind, they have to prove this is a big M instead of self defense. And basically, with self defense, you can't be a provoker. Now, I think, what are the let me see, the statutes in Texas, which are very funny. Oh, which are very funny. But it's basically the Texas Penal Code 9, Section 9, that deals with self defense and the first aggressor standards. And it's the first aggressor standard is 9.32. The Texas Penal Code is 9.61. 9.61. So look at the Section 9 of the Texas Penal Code, and you'll see everything that must fall under self defense. And in my opinion, everything proved through. The only thing I was worried about was the knife. However, the Frisco Collin County Police stated that the knife was not illegal. So if the knife is not illegal, then basically, what do you have? We clearly have, or it was clearly stated by multiple witnesses that Austin put his hands on Carmela first. Everybody's asking the question, why didn't Austin go get an adult? Why was an adult present? Because I guarantee if an adult was present, then, this situation wouldn't have happened. Because, an adult wouldn't have wanted to be legally responsible for any of these things. So there was no adult present, as well as the coach had, sort of, you know, um, sort of like, he sort of told Austin to step up and be a leader. And so Austin was trying to prove himself. So, I think that Austin went too far into trying to prove himself. It was clearly bullying because it was multiple people. We know the size differences. Austin and his brother were, because, they were like, it was just one person, it was one on one. But you had multiple people. And then we even heard that, in terms of, Carmela could have actually not tried to puncture Austin. We don't know. Uh we don't know. But according to one of the testimonies, witnesses, there was somebody in the back, Dusty or somebody. And when Austin put his hands on his shoulder or pushed him, he fell back on Dusty, and Dusty could have possibly pushed him back, because even with the coroner report, it stated that, the way the entry of the entry evidence, or the entry was not typical of, like a regular post. So I'm just saying, in my opinion, I don't think that the prosecution proved their case, and I think that's why the defense decided to rest early, and also they can set it up for the appeal process. That is another reason why it's stated that a defense would rule early, and that they don't want they didn't want Carmela to take the stand. So it doesn't look bad to me. However, I'm not the jury. The jury has to make the final decisions. And like I said, tomorrow's deliberation, which, should be exciting because tomorrow, like that deliberation is their final arguments. And I'm just speculating that the defense is going to have a rather captivating closing argument. So, and you keep in mind, prosecution goes first, defense goes last. So, basically, we shall see tomorrow. Like I said, we got 1 or 2 days. If y'all are down there, please remember no physical fighting and follow the law because this is a race baiting situation where they're trying to paint Black people as violent. So by all means, because keep in mind that we are, everybody nationally, everybody is watching this. So I just wanted to come on and give those quick updates. I possibly going to have some more details a little later, but keep in mind that even the cops said that the knife was not illegal. So, on to the next day. And until next time, this is QI unapologetically. Let me check my check because people be wanting me to do that. Oh, Jeff, thank you. Thank you. I said Austin. Yeah, his name is Jeff Metcalf. But they were saying that I don't know if I heard Austin, so I don't know if I think it was Jeff because the comment came right behind that they see why the twins were bullies because they got it from their dad. So they're saying that the dad was coercing witnesses, perjury, and as well as threatening or intimidating witnesses. So that's allegedly. But at any rate, they had a long deliberation and they decided the rest. So tomorrow's going to be an exciting day. Everybody stay woke, stay aware, and stay vigilant because people are going to be rather upset after this case, one way or the other. But just advise everybody don't fall for the bait. Don't fall for the race war bait because that's basically what what this has come down to. But at any rate, thank y'all. And as well, they found out that everybody was connected because I watched Queen 88 and basically Queen 88 found out that a lot of, there were attorneys from the Mo 3 case and different things. And so they're leaving. That's maybe why the judge wanted it to end pretty quickly. Because keep in mind, right now, the Mo 3 case is going on as well. But, anyways, peace to everyone. A lot going on in Texas. Stay safe in Texas. And stay safe everywhere in the South End. Stay safe everywhere. Peace, love, hair grease, and all that good stuff. And until later or tomorrow, I will see you next time. Smash that like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Unapologetically QI is now unapologetically exiting the building. Peace.